This is a flea bass too.
November 6th, the guy's getting ready. Here we go. Joe Berlinger, the second camera, shooting. Nice meeting him. This is Lars getting ready. November 6th. Playing music for about 5 days in a row now, and starting in the middle of last week, and I'm just we've done a lot of hot rocking, and so I'm just kind of sitting here being mellow from playing a lot of super cool stuff.
We had the assembly line going, the metal factory going, spewing out riffs here and there. What we were doing was we're just whenever someone would have an idea for the particular song we were working on, we would jam on it, and literally we must have jammed on like maybe 35 different musical ideas. And how much musical stuff do we have to listen to? How many hours now?
6 hours.
Let's just
8 hours.
52 minutes.
6 hours, 52 minutes of hot metal.
Hot metal riff factory. It's all just the same riff played different ways.
Yeah,
with different beats.
In the same key.
And it's all variations on the same 30 chords on the guitar.
Yeah.
It's all variations on literally 5 invented drum beats.
Mm-hmm.
But we just try and do something different with it. Actually, what we have been doing the last few days is re-looking at some stuff that we did earlier. So it's sort of for the first time in the past we have always we have written a song, gone into a studio and recorded that song. As most of you guys know, the process is kind of different. We're sort of writing and recording at the same time. There's no real separation between the two. And the last week or two, we have been re-looking at some stuff from earlier.
Yeah, basically we got a bunch of songs and we're trying to whittle it down to a CD's worth, and it's really hard because there's a lot of great stuff. So there's a pinnacle we've hit with a few songs, and we're trying to go back and just re-interject some of the feelings we got now into the older Presidio songs, and without rewriting the songs, keeping some of the vibe. It's kind of difficult trying to keep the vibe and keep and get more lively new sounds going on that we've discovered here. So there's a fine balance, and we're working through all that.
It's just a very different thing that we're doing. And so this whole thing about even like sitting there going like tossing songs out. Are they songs? Are they blueprints? Are they ideas? You know, people like, what do the new songs sound like? You know, since none of them are done, it's very difficult to say what they sound like. You know, what James is saying, you know, taking some stuff from the Presidio, which is coming up on a year and a half ago now. We've been through a lot of different moods and a lot of different kind of vibes in the last while, and we've fucked around with a lot of different things to try and figure out where our, you know, vibe was at, and it's been a sort of like a journey. We seem to have come to a place now where we're getting a little more comfortable with some specific things, so we're re-looking at some older stuff to see, you know, how that, you know, like James was saying, you know, taking things that were sort of partially written and making them November 2002 worthy.
We've sort of raised the bar on ourselves by selecting which songs to further and which songs to pretty much put on the back burner.
And how was that process? Did you all guys agree on the same songs? Or?
Yeah, well, what we did was all of us individually made up lists of what we thought were the strongest songs, and then we all sat down and compared lists. And 4 or 5 of the songs got 4 votes, but
It was 4. How many?
4 songs got 4 votes. Then there
4
was
songs out of 30 that we all agreed on.
Yeah, but then there was like 12 that only got 3 votes and 10 that only got 2 votes or whatever. So we pretty much agreed that these 4 songs were at a level that we thought was worthy to shoot for, and so we're just trying to raise all these other songs up to that bar, and we definitely have a clear idea of where we're going, and we pretty much know what we have to do. We just have to figure out how to do it now.
You know, those songs that all 4 of us voted on in some way became kind of like the blueprint. You know, after everything that we've been through, there was 4 songs that all 4 of us voted on, and those 4 have sort of, they're sort of the blueprint of, there's sort of like a vision now for the record, finally. And that's really about it. And there was a lot of stuff, you know, and what Kirk was talking about, there were a lot of songs that, in that process 2 weeks ago, got sort of left behind, but at some point they might be revisited, or we might take some parts from them. Who knows?
So you can look at it as like one week we had 32 songs, the next week we only had 4. You can look at it that way, but we choose not to.
Well, we said let's choose the ones that have to be on. Let's write our list of what has to be on the record, and there was variants from like 14 to 18 songs on there, and there was 4 that we all picked. I think the same. We were thinking it was going to be about 70% of them, but well, there were a lot that 3 of us picked, which meant that one person needed to help make, or 3 people needed to bring it up to another level for that other person. So anyway, that's where we're at. So we're I just want to say those songs aren't going anywhere. There are songs, and they'll be
Available
heard
on the internet
somehow. They'll be on C-sides or something.
They'll be on the bit. They won't be on the A or the B side. They'll be on the bit,
On the edge.
on the edge.
You can choose your own.
You can share.
Yeah,
Can you share some?
You know.
Here are some of the, you know, we got Washer Sauce, Speaker Killer,
Keep pulling.
Keep pulling, my
Keep
personal
pulling.
favorite.
Downloaded. The final riff, unfucked with. The crushing wave of metal. All the farts have been farted. And this, by the way, is a piece of art called Super City, done by one Miles Ulrich on 11/01/02.
We are starting to. You're starting to get an idea of what the album should be.
Are we more done than not done?
We are definitely a lot more done than not done. We have definitely turned the corner. We are now starting to gather our ideas and try and make a cohesive statement. And going back and looking on some of these songs to bring them kind of where these songs that we've all voted on is really tough, because some of the charm of the songs we're re-looking at were kind of like real personal, great moments at the Presidio. At least the ones we started with were probably the best stuff from the Presidio, so it's very hard to go back and kind of re-look at those moments and try and recreate them. So this last week has been a little more work than it has been in the past. Just trying to recapture a moment is always tough, you know. Once it's, a moment is something that especially when you capture it for the first time, is something you kind of really hold dear to your heart. When you try and go back and look at it and get the same emotion, it's tough. So what we tried to do, first we tried to capture it, and then we kind of went, well, we've actually not only got to capture it, but we got to go somewhere new with it. We have to bring it up to snuff, so that's what we're trying to do. And it's a little more work, shall we say, than just kind of creating. But it feels good. It feels good knowing that there's a direction, that there's a focus, that there's that we know where we're going now. So now that part of it feels good, and having a bit of a deadline in our minds is really good too. So
What is that deadline?
I think it's around May 1st at this point. I don't know if you're supposed to know that. But I actually don't believe that it's going to take till May 1st to finish the record. That's my opinion.